Okay, today we're going to be building a custom footrest for a computer workstation. So this is made out of some scrap particle board. You can see I've already drawn out with pencil the shapes. You have the top, the left and right side, and the back or the cross member, and the rest will be scrap. Or if you don't have a scrap wood lying around, you can always go buy a piece of plywood at your local home center. So now with everything measured and marked out on this board, I'm just going to use a regular circular saw to cut out the pieces. If you have a table saw or whatever saw you have available, always remember to wear proper PPE, read, understand, and follow the tool's operation instructions. Now that our pieces are cut, we'll lay them out. We're going to be using 3 different size drill bits, one small drill bit to drill our pilot hole, medium-sized drill bit to accommodate for the diameter of the screw shank, and the larger drill bit will be to drill our countersink hole for the screw heads. We're using these 1 5/8" deck screws, and we'll use some wood glue as well. I'm just going to do a quick dry run to make sure everything is cut properly and fits together properly. And then I like to use my pencil just to mark out where everything is, or where everything's going to be assembled. That way it makes it easier to drill my pilot holes so everything lines up properly. And then I'll measure and mark where I want to drill my holes. And I'll transfer that same measurement to the other side so every side is exactly the same. Try to make this dark enough so you can see it on camera. And the scrap wood, you can sand it when you're all done with this project and paint it. We're going to leave it the natural wood color. But depending on what material you make this out of, you could sand it and paint it, or sand it and then stain it, up to you. You can see my marks on the top. Those marks will act as my guide for drilling the holes. You'll note the left and right side end pieces are cut at an angle. That is deliberate for ergonomics, so it's more comfortable for a person to set their feet on as opposed to being a flat top. You can use a T-square like this, or you can use a speed square to help make your lines. I'm just figuring out my placement for the cross brace. And the cross brace is going to be there to help prevent any racking or wobbliness from side to side. And again, this whole construction is simply countersink, wood screws, and wood glue. I'm going to use my little speed square here to make a nice square center line. These are great. And again, I'm just lining up my cross brace. Do I want to do it at an angle, or do I want to keep it straight on that center line? I think I'm going to go ahead and keep it straight on the center line. Here too, I'm going to use my pencil to mark or trace around the piece of wood, as you see here. And again, that's going to help facilitate drilling the pilot holes for the screws. I was a little off on my lines on this board, so I'm just going to go back and correct my mistake. That's why it's important to lay everything out ahead of time. The old measure twice, cut once. Okay, now we'll go ahead and start drilling all of our pilot holes. Especially with MDF and particle board, it's important to pre-drill your holes, but even with plywood, so you don't split the wood. Especially if you're going to be drilling screws into the end of a piece of wood. So these medium-sized holes will allow the screw shank to go through the wood easily without splitting the wood. We're then also going to use a larger drill bit to make a countersunk hole or divot in the wood, if you will, and that will allow the screw head to sink down below the surface, again without splitting or damaging the wood. And a little tip here, when you do this, run your drill in reverse. And that way it prevents your drill from biting in and digging in too deep, and it gives you a cleaner countersunk hole.
Woo!
And here's the wood glue we'll be using today. It works great, dries fast. Now I'm going to line up my left and right side boards where I want them, and then I'm going to use my small drill bit to drill pilot holes down into those left and right side boards, and that'll help guide the screws when I go to drive them in, and again prevent us from splitting the wood. And there you can see our pilot holes if you look really close. Now we'll put a small bead of glue, wood glue, where our joints are going to be. You can use the wood glue relatively sparingly, as you see here. A little bit goes a long way. That way you prevent making a big mess that you got to clean up. And again, take your time here and line everything up so your screws drive in properly into your pilot holes. You can even take your pencil and draw some witness marks on the side of each of the boards and line those witness marks up, whatever works best for you. And then just very gently, I'm going to drive our screws in. just going to do one final check, make sure everything's plumb. Looks good. And then now we'll turn it over. You can see kind of the construction coming together. And we'll go ahead and place our cross brace. And the same thing, I'll pre-drill my holes so we don't split the wood. And so all of our screws go exactly where we want them. And again, the cross brace is there for lateral rigidity or support, if you will. So here I'm just lining up that cross brace with the pencil marks that we made earlier. Make sure the center line is lined up with that center pencil line. And then we'll drill our holes. Now we'll go ahead and repeat the same process on the other side. Then we'll pull that cross member out, apply wood glue to the ends of the wood, and then go ahead and drive our screws in. Here you can see me making witness marks with my pencil. That will help with proper alignment because I got to remove this board to add the wood glue and I want it to go back in the exact same location. There you go. The project is done. That's the finished product. Again, you could sand this down and paint it, or if you made it out of hardwood or plywood or solid wood, whatever, you could stain it if you want. Good luck with your project. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and thanks for watching.